Welcome to Beyond Our Focus. I'm Stefan, this is Amanda, and this is What You If! Would you blank if blank were the consequence, or whatever. Reaction, or positive, or whatever. What would you do for a contact bar?
Beyond Our Focus, the podcast where within the first minute, people scream at you, you get anxiety, and you turn YouTube off.
Well, no one's watching it anyway, okay? Not really that important. Today's fancy question is, would you live in the past if you were immortal up to the present time?
Okay.
So essentially, you get to pick the time, go as far back or as not as far back as you want, live from that point to now at your current age, immortal. You can't be killed, you can't die, you're immortal. Do whatever you want, but once you reach this time period, you start aging in and you're not immortal anymore. So
technically though, even though you're going back, you're technically a different person than the time you are now.
No, there could be two you.
Okay. Just making sure that there's actually two of you now.
Up until the moment of the exact time that you left.
Okay.
And then you would merge back into one, and you'd just be you again. Normal, average you.
Do you have to avoid yourself?
No.
Okay.
I don't know how much I would mess with yourself at that point, but...
Don't do this shit. That's not how time travel works.
You know,
Back to the Future was bullshit?
I don't know if no one knows how time travel works, because time doesn't really actually exist, so there's not really a means to travel in it if it doesn't actually be, it's not there. So would you do it, though? You think it would be interesting enough to relive however long you wanted?
However long it would be this entire... Well, I guess if you mean how far back you want.
Yeah, basically how far back you're going. So you can see awesome and cool things. My only downside of this particular one is I don't necessarily want to see the past that much.
You want to see the future.
Exactly. I want to see the future, which this does none of. And would help me nothing towards my immortality, which sucks. My true immortality to get to that future that I want to see.
Backwards immortality.
It is. I mean, it'd be cool to see the past and certain elements of the past, but I don't know.
I assume you can't change anything.
Change whatever you want. Because why wouldn't you? I've never subscribed to it's fate. You can't change anything. Even if you try, nothing actually changes.
So you don't believe in the butterfly effect, pretty much?
No, I do believe in the butterfly effect.
Okay.
Because the butterfly effect, you can change anything.
Oh, okay.
Anything you change had a rippling effect, for the most part. That's what's called the butterfly effect.
Yeah, that's right.
Phenomenal movie. Phenomenal movie.
Well, on the principle of being able to live a life where you are immortal, I mean...
It'd be cool unto itself.
Yeah.
Maybe if you get lucky, you can go help yourself do something.
I have a feeling... What if you die? Do you just take over your own place and then...
You die. If the original you die, you have to die.
Mm. But then you wouldn't be immortal.
But you can't die. But the real you, the normal you, can die.
So then when you reach the point that you left, you would just die.
I would go with that.
Okay.
So maybe...
Pretty much just stay away from yourself. It would probably be the best.
Start sending myself letters.
Yeah.
Hey, you need to do this.
Maybe.
I'd hope that doesn't affect enough to where I do something stupid and get killed.
I feel brave now. I'm going to go bungee jumping. No.
Don't do it. Avoid danger at all costs.
would that really... See, time's weird, though, because it's like, would helping yourself change what they do in their timeline actually affect you if in the end you just merge to become the same person that you were before you left anyways? Or would you pick up their timeline?
Picking up their timeline.
Okay. That's better.
Unless it's exactly the same. If you unaffect yourself at all completely, then it'd be just normal.
Yeah, because I see some people taking this opportunity to go out and do all the things they never did instead of trying to get themselves to do the things they never did.
You could. You're immortal. You can't die.
And I think
that... You have 14 planes, go to space,
yeah.
and I can do all kinds of things.
I was going to say, like, you could try all the things that you'd probably be too scared to do, but...
Don't do anything too stupid, because if you get caught on, like,
governmental... arrested, yeah.
Well, don't do anything too stupid on the premise of if you gather too much government... and they know who, if they find out there are two of you, they get that you, it could screw up your entire life forever.
And you're like, I'm sorry, it's just my twin.
Mm-hmm. Just the twin, yeah.
Why weren't you guys the same age? Delayed twin.
They pop up in history a few times, and then the real you pops up, and it's like,
I'll be fucking Keanu Reeves, okay?
Everybody knows they're not actually Keanu Reeves. We know this.
You don't know this. Time travel.
But
we're sitting here talking about time travel, and you're like, it's not.
It'd be awesome if it was real, but in this,
well, which one would you believe
hypothetical
more? Which one would you believe more? And you have to believe at least one of them, okay? That's the part of this. But either he's a vampire or he's a time traveler.
Oh, neither.
No, you have to pick one.
Neither.
Nope.
Neither?
You're able to answer a fictional would you if question. You can answer this one. We've had entire conversations based purely in fiction to the point of by the end of it we were like, you know what, this needs to be real, but it's never going to be real. You can answer a simple question. Vampire or time traveler? It's not like you're going to be wrong if you pick the wrong.
Okay. The only way vampire could be right, remotely even kind of close, right, is that vampire is completely nowhere near remotely what we think it is. Because Keanu Reeves has been all up in daylight and everything else, so he'd be vaporized. So on that premise and that premise alone, he's got to be a time traveler.
It's like when he just really has like the Edward Cullen disease and just wears the cake full of makeup to hide how sparkly he is.
You telling me Dust Till Dawn's bullcrap?
He's Blade. He can go out in the sunlight. You just gotta take supplements, okay?
I think it'd be cool to go back in time.
I think it would too, as far as, like, I mean, as you said, like, if you can't die, I think that takes off a lot of limitations to what people would have... Yeah. There's some events in life you might not want to see, or live through, but...
The real question comes down to, if it is yes, how far back do you go? What seems like a good time to go back?
I want to go pet a dinosaur.
You could have a couple 100 million years of nothing. This might be a bad idea.
Probably.
You cannot die. There's no more humanity for millions of years. Very long sleep.
When you just hibernation. When you just turn into Scrat from Ice Age, just spend your entire life chasing one thing. And
so, probably not the best time. At some point in the last couple thousand years, it's probably about as far back as you'd want to go.
Yeah, I don't think I want to see the cavemen.
Yeah, I would like to see it. But I don't know if it'd be worth living through everything. The ancient pyramids. See how all that occurred. How it really occurred.
So you want to see if there's ancient aliens.
Exactly! Did aliens really help them do this? Or did they really just find this really unique, weird way that we just have not thought of?
It would definitely... Oh, God. Could you imagine? Could you imagine if you were to go back to that time? Because... or go back to pretty much any time around there or before then. Because it's like, you could easily come back and be like, sorry guys, like half the shit you think's wrong. And it's going to change religion a lot.
Assume people believe you.
Yeah.
You have to find some way of proving it. Or you just be one guy out there saying, this is how it actually happened. And everyone else is like, no, we didn't. Don't, why? What you liar over here.
You become the crazy person in a trench coat with a sign outside that says...
Or you go back, see the pyramid, see the alien, and they're like, where'd you come from? You're not supposed to be here. And you spend the rest of your life trying to get back to Earth because they kidnapped you.
Oh, jeez.
Be interesting.
It's like, what happened? Because it's like, then what happens when you hit that point where you're no longer immortal and you're like, well, shit. Remember, you guys, how you were just like slicing and dicing over here because I couldn't die? That can't happen anymore. Like, I know you guys were totally cool with removing some limbs and, you know, seeing how things work. It's not going to happen.
So... the real question, would you want to go back for anyway? Because you have a good stint. It's going to be real boring.
As I said, there's a lot of stuff that went on in the past where it's like, do I really want to see this? Do I really
want to see it, but I want to jump through time and not necessarily live every individual day of that time.
Especially as a woman, I'm not sure how much history I want to go through.
Or martial arts, learn some ways of the sword. Really, I mean, you can't die, so just learn to kill people really well.
Yeah, that would probably be
that one chick. No. I know we don't like women. I know we stone them to death and stuff, but don't mess with that one. That one's fine. Don't go near her. Don't even look at her wrong. She's perfectly fine. Yeah, or that's when you officially reset history. Because it's no longer that you stone women. Now, you being the woman who's immortal is now queen of things. No. Because you cannot be killed and people worship you.
Could you imagine how messed up the present is when you get to it? Considering that whatever age you go back to, especially... Well, I mean, I think they might have burned guys too, but it was mostly women at the stake. For witchcraft, and you don't fucking die.
If you're immortal, you can... But 10,000 years, you figure things out.
Well, no, I'm just saying, like...
If you chose to go back right then.
It's like, burn the witch, and then you light her on fire, and she's not burning, and suddenly, okay, so there's the whole witch thing's real, guys. It's real.
100% when all women are witches, burn them all. We don't need them. And humanity goes extinct.
Yeah.
Or we get handmade still.
Okay. No. And so yeah, that would definitely be an interesting experience. Except for if they do the whole the different tests and stuff they had for witches, or besides burning them at the stake, anything else they did, like, you know, dropping them to the bottom of a river with like stones and stuff attached to them. Because it's like, you may be immortal, but if you can't get out of your predicament and you're in the bottom of a river, you're just going to sit there and just forever drown. Until maybe the ropes corrode and you float back up and you're like, well, shit, where am I now? The entire world has changed again.
Okay. You need to be the toughest person around. You're immortal, you can't die, but you have plenty of time. Learn everything you need to learn.
Not that it's really important, just more of an interesting questions about this. Are we speaking like immortality, as in Deadpool? Or are we talking immortality as in, like, literally pretty much nothing can harm you? Because Deadpool, he gets limbs and stuff sliced off. They just happen to grow back. Oh, you can mess with
different versions of immortality.
You could mess with so many people. The guillotine.
Who's ahead? Oh, look, we killed him. Head grows back.
I think in this situation it would be a yes. It's just figuring out what point in time, because it's like if the only penalty to it is really just having to relive this huge span of time and hope you don't mess things up so much that the present you get back to is just like flipped upside down.
Or do something too stupid and get yourself killed.
Yes.
Or do something too stupid that you accidentally do something to one of your ancestors.
I'm just going to contact myself through a Ouija board, okay? Be like, okay, we're just going to do this and just...
Like, actually, I'm just going to go back, like, I don't know, 50, 60 years. Just relive that time.
I think when it got up to the point where it was like...
Now, also, what do you do if you make yourself too popular and everyone knows who you are, but you don't age? I'm going through 10, 20, 30. This guy's, he's looking remarkably well.
Well, hopefully you can fly under the radar. You can do as the whole teen vampire thing where you just switch schools and graduate over and over and over and over again.
I'm saying, but that means you can't do anything too outlandish.
Yeah, you can't be a celebrity, pretty much. You can't be a celebrity.
You can't get in the public eye.
Yeah, can't be a celebrity. Can't go into any forms of power, pretty much ruling, presidency, anything like that.
But if you're back in time, wouldn't you want to maybe fix some things or change some things for the better that you think might be for the better? And you have that opportunity to do that?
I would definitely start, the whole recycling stuff a lot sooner. The whole trying to save the earth thing sooner. Except we also wouldn't have the technology back then that we would now, unless unless I'm sitting here memorizing plans and stuff before I go. Can you take anything back with you?
No, this is Terminator. Go back naked. But naked.
I don't know how far back I'd want to go.
It's a hard one.
Because it's like there's a lot of interesting things I would really like to see, but I don't know how many of those things that I'd like to see I would actually like to experience. Because, like, it would be cool to see the Renaissance era, but I don't want to go through the Black Plague.
You'll be alright.
I know, yeah. Doesn't mean I want to see a bunch of people, like, dying in the street. Just like...
I don't know. Knowing some truth would be pretty interesting.
Kick the rats out!
Or how much would you try to prevent or stop?
Be like, clean up your streets, people. Come on, get that broom.
Like, we know what causes some of these things. We know how we can help prevent it. Of course, that just comes down to getting people to listen.
Witch.
You're a witch! Oh, God, the witch thing again. I'm getting so tired of this witch thing. Not a witch! People are stupid. That's really what it comes down to. People are stupid.
Burn them at the stake. No. Don't
burn them at the stake. You're not going to like the result. One, I'm not going to burn. Two, I have to kill all of you. My apologies.
Because you know my secret, you all have to die now.
Pretty much.
This will go from burn them at the stake to burn the entire village. Let's not do this again. It's like, what do you mean again? Don't ask.
Only the 4th town this year I had to burn, but... Oh, this dumb witch thing. We can get past the witch.
Oh, God. Then it turns into, she's a god.
That's better. Much better if you worship me than trying to kill me.
It's not much better because then that whole fame thing starts going in there. Books and stuff are written about you. Paintings.
Well, why not? It's hard. It's a hard life. People are stupid. It just comes to anything people cannot explain immediately. We have to chalk up to something supernatural or religious or whatever it is. I can't explain it. Must be mystical of some sort. It's witchcraft. It's a god. It's the sun god. It's the whatever god. Maybe we just can't figure it out yet.
Well, back then, you'll definitely be telling them out.
Oh, God.
Be like, you guys won't understand me now, but just wait a couple hundred years. What was that? Just wait a couple days.
It's a few days. It'll reveal itself in time. Talk to some of the great philosophers of time. Be like, yeah, just a little further. We're almost there. You almost got it. Come on. Just a little bit further.
I think you just need to hallucinate a little bit more and you got it.
All right, well, we've gone on long enough. I think the answer on both of us was yes. Yeah. Just a matter of when.
And that's that tricky area. Because once again, lots of things you might want to see because it's cool and stuff. Maybe not some things you want to try to explain or go through. Or have to watch, or be a part of, or be on the sidelines of, because you're not, just because you're immortal doesn't really, I guess, change who you are completely. So it's like, I may not be able to die, but that doesn't mean I'm ready to just go out into battle and kill a bunch of people. That you may have to.
Go back and meet Jesus.
What would you guys do? Would you guys be willing to go back to any point in time in the past and relive not only all of that time, but your entire life over again, pretty much? Just at your own age. I mean, there'd be a lot more stuff you could do, like...
Could learn a lot, could figure out a lot.
Right.
Be a lot richer, be a lot smarter.
Send pigeons with notes to yourself. Don't make eye contact.
Internet, it's a wonderful thing. Get on that quick.
Oh, God. We did a Unlocking Beyond on doppelgangers.
You did.
And considering that I knew what that was beforehand, if I were to ever start getting notes from myself, or if I were to ever just see myself at random... Remember, the advice we gave was turn around and run.
They might be nice.
Never meet your doppelganger.
They might be nice.
No.
You don't know.
It wasn't the fact that they may be evil. Because that was over here. The other one was just, it was a bad omen, and two of you being in the same place could just...
Maybe it's a future self gone back in the past and seeing you again.
When has that ever worked out for anybody?
You don't know. You don't know.
I'm just saying, if I ever saw myself across the room, I'd probably turn around and try to walk away.
Nah, go say hello. Meet him. Might be a nice fellow.
Oh, God.
As always, you can reach me at Stars on Travel. Reach me at KZ Pup. Reach show beyond our focus, practically anywhere, including YouTube and podcast services around the globe. Maybe. Like the video, comment on the video, subscribe to the channel. Any further thoughts before we go?
Give us your answers. We need them.
Alright, Kit Kat. That's all you. Till next time, long days and pleasant nights.